Yes, we can hear you. Can you please turn on your video if you don't mind?
Sure. I will try to look for this place where I can switch on my video, but unfortunately this place is very dark, but I will try my best. I hope you can see me.
Confirm, we can see you, we can hear you. Confirm, you can hear us.
Yes, I can see you. So there's an echo. I don't know where it's coming from.
Please go on. I'm sorry.
Okay, awesome. I can still hear some echo.
Please go on.
Okay. Good morning once again, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you can all hear me. My name is Amani Katana. I'm the founder and executive director of Youth Empowerment Program Initiative, and I'm joining you virtually from Nairobi County. I really wish I could be there because you all know that I'm from Mombasa. I was born and raised in Mombasa, but because of work commitment, I'm currently in Nairobi. But thanks to the COVID-19 pandemic, we've learned that we can work from anywhere. And I'm so happy to join you virtually at this launch of Mombasa Entrepreneurship Resource Center for Youth, Massive. First and foremost, I would like to thank the organizers of this event, led by Swahili Would Have, the Global Opportunity Youth Network, YEPI, and among other organizations that spearheaded the launch of this important information that will be freely available for young people. And this reminds me of last week. I was in Kisumu attending the Lake Basin Innovation Week, and I was discussing about place-based innovation. And place-based innovation is whereby local institutions provide spaces for entrepreneurs to address local community needs. And I'm happy to see that Mombasa is leading the way in terms of place-based innovation, providing spaces and opportunities for young people to grow and scale their businesses. I have been asked to speak about the development. And like I mentioned earlier, I would like to use the case study for Mombasa because we've seen a high growth of civil society coming together to solve some of the challenges that vulnerable youth and women are facing, advocating for issues that are affecting our communities, and empowering communities to develop themselves. And if you look across the world, you will see that civil society organizations play multiple roles. They are an important source of information, not only to the community, but also to the society at large. And this is why we are launching Massive today, Mombasa Entrepreneurship Resource Center for Youth. And this is a resource center for micro enterprises such as local garbage collectors, hawkers, mama burgers, and kiosks, and many other micro enterprises in your community. And through Massive, these micro enterprises will gain access to information and resources that they need in order to start, grow, and scale their businesses. And this information will be readily available for these youth who have been marginalized for a while and who have been struggling to access information about job opportunities, to access information about business opportunities, to access information about capacity building, networking, and so on and forth. And the information will be readily available for these marginalized groups of youth and women, both online and physically at YEPI, at Swahili Would Have, at Growing Global Opportunity Youth Network, and other partners who are involved in the development of Massive. Civil society is an essential building block of community development. We've seen a lot of organizations in Mombasa delivering services, especially to the poor and underserved people in our community. They raise awareness of social issues, they advocate for change, they empower local communities to develop new solutions to their own challenges, and they have also created positive social change in numerous places throughout the coastal region of Kenya. If I can just give an example of a few civil society organizations that have been able to create massive change, not only in Mombasa but across the coastal region of Kenya, is just right here where we are launching this program, MASI, Swahili Port Hub. We've seen many talented young people, creatives, artists, entrepreneurs getting access to information through this innovation hub that is spearheaded by Mahmoud Lo. We've also seen civil organizations like Youth Empowerment Program Initiative, popularly known as YEPI, providing access to entrepreneurship skills, networking opportunities, and seed funding to marginalized youth and women in our community. We've also seen other civil society organizations like Somo Africa, Close the Gap, Tech Bridge, who are spearheading change in Mombasa in order to ensure that young people have access to the information that they need in order to grow and scale their businesses. And just like my previous speaker spoke, that young people of today have access to so many opportunities readily available. It's just a challenge to us to pursue this information and opportunities. So these civil organizations have contributed also to the entrepreneurship ecosystem and the development of social enterprises. We've seen businesses coming up as a result of their participation in this civil society organization. Small businesses like the ones that have been run by young people in Mombasa, and I can see some of them are joining this forum, some from YEPI, some from Swahili Port Hub, some from South Africa. These are young people who have been able to start and grow their businesses through the contribution of the civil society organization in the entrepreneurship ecosystem in Mombasa. And by doing so, they have created economic opportunities for these disadvantaged youth, and they have contributed to building conducive environment for friends, sustainable and innovative driven society. While these civil society organizations are at the forefront to ensure that young people have access to information and the resources that they need, these civil societies also face a lot of challenges. And I'm happy to see that today we are joined by different stakeholders from private sector, government, both national and the county government. And to end my speech, I would like to emphasize and maybe provide a guidance on how both the national government, county government, and other players in the private sector can contribute to the development of these civil societies. So one, they should work to strengthen and protect the enabling environment for civil society. Like I mentioned, they are providing great work, they are filling the gap that the government is not filling, and therefore it's up to the government, both locally and national, to work to strengthen these civil societies and enable or create an enabling environment for them so that civil society organizations have the space to exercise their essential roles, especially during this coming period of election. I'd also like to advise or urge the government to invest in the capabilities of civil societies. In addition to supporting their programmatic elements, they should also provide assistance for the operational capacity of civil society organizations so that they can be able to create massive impact, and that impact would be felt from the local communities to their families and across the nation. Before I end, I'd like to once again congratulate Massly for the launch, and most importantly, to appreciate the team behind, including Swahili Port Hub, Youth Empowerment Program Initiative, Global Opportunity Youth Network for bringing this resource center to our local youth and women. Congratulations on this great achievement, and I believe that young people will take advantage of this opportunity in order to grow themselves personally and professionally. Thank you so much, and greetings from Nairobi.
Thank you so much. That was Untitled Chapter, the founder and executive director for UT, that is Youth Empowerment Program Initiatives, all the way from country 0.7. Right about now, we will go to the panel discussion that will be moderated by Rukia Janawala. Rukia, don't speak. I hope I got that right. So, where are we having panel discussion?
Thank you so much.
Alright, so we're discussing about the success stories, now that we're launching the Mombasa Entrepreneurship Resource Center for Youth, MASI. Tafadhali Rukia, if you're ready with your team. We have Rukia Janawala, the CEO of Janawala Consultants. She will be moderating.
Yes, the panel discussion, and then in the panelists we have Maulid Khamis, we have Titus, we have Hailey Wanzia, and then we have Mwanaidi Khamis. I hope all of them are present. Yes, they are. Thank you so much. Just to save on time, just start working in front, kindly. Maulid Khamis, Titus, Hailey Wanzia, and Mwanaidi Khamis. Thank you so much. Hailey Wanzia. Thank you so much, Hailey Wanzia. Hey, you're looking beautiful. Thank you so much. So we will give the panel to Rukia Janawala. She will introduce her panelists, and they will take it from here. All of them are here. Thank you so much, Rukia.
Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. My name is Rukia Jamal Janwala. I'm a communication professional and a personal development coach. I provide consultancy on communication and personal development coaching to companies and organizations. As my sister Amina here was making an introduction about GOYN, and one of the gaps that she identified was actually providing psychosocial support to our young people, or majorly the people out here in our society. This is one of the challenges that we come on board to basically address at the same time. Now, Global Opportunity Youth Network focuses on opportunity youth, and as we have been introduced earlier about opportunity youth, these are basically youth that are not in employment and not in training, in education, are basically informally employed and are aged 15 to 34 years old. And most of the people actually, we term them as marginalized, and they undergo through challenges like social, economical, school dropouts, living with disabilities, and suffering from social stigmas, as well as some of them being part of juvenile gangs, which is something that is quite common, especially in our community in Mombasa. According to data, Mombasa County is very young populated, with about 45% being youth and youth aged 15 to 34 years old, and unfortunately 64% of this 45% of the general population is actually estimated to be opportunity youth, with all the challenges that we're basically going through. Now, 45%, sorry. Despite being the second largest city in Kenya, it is actually estimated to have 51.4% high income migration, poor education at 31% who have finished high school, 46% finished primary only, 17% with no formal education, and 57% generally on literacy rate, which all contributes to actually the country's economy or poverty rate that lies at 34.8%, which is a very, very huge data that we cannot basically ignore. Now, when you also look at data and the reports that actually show on economic growth of the county, Mombasa's economy is actually growing. However, the GDP is still low, indicating that there is poor health in our economic stability in the county. And there are four major economic sectors that actually dominate our environment here in terms of the economic ecosystem or providing job opportunities. That are travel and logistic industry, accommodation and food, agribusiness, forestry and tertiaries falling under one docket. And then we have the manufacturing, and all this actually contributes to the country's economy, making up to 74% of the current jobs that are available or are occupied by the people of Mombasa County. Now, being a county that is really highly populated by youth, it is impossible to basically ignore all the challenges that we face and the possible opportunities that we could actually go through and attain for this dynamic to ensure that we can be able to greatly influence and contribute to the country or the county's economy at large. And at GOIN, we basically focus on ensuring that the opportunity youth, as we have earlier described, is able to access and secure viable economic opportunities to be able to thrive in. Because if we're able to tap onto all this opportunity youth that are available in general, then we can greatly influence and contribute to the not only the county's economy, but also the country and generally the global economy as well. Now, in our session today, we're going to have a panel discussion themed Turning Point in Youth Entrepreneurship, and with me I have amazing entrepreneurs from different sectors, that is from creative, Western management, agribusiness and service industry. And to start off this panel discussion today, I'm going to introduce my panelists, and they're going to tell us their names, their business venture, and how their journey basically has been in entrepreneurship, from challenges, success, failures, to how or what has actually been able to let them stay resilient all through. And we're going to start with Tank from my right.
Hello. So my name is Cappadocia Titus. I'm the CEO and co-founder of Quosha. And Quosha is a laundry service based here in Mombasa. And the idea came over lunch hour in high school, in the university. And we were having a discussion around the challenges that we are facing with our own personal laundry. And so we thought, since we're coming from a software engineering background, why don't we create a solution that helps us? And so we did it. Me with my team, we started programming a solution, and our initial concept was, how do we connect people like us or people with laundry needs to mama fuas and laundry houses. And so it was exciting at first, and we approached different laundry houses, and I must say it was tough, because basically the established laundry houses have their own customer base, and so if you are plugging in as a software service, we need to take up the different pricings. And so this posed a challenge when we're going back to the comrades and asking them, are you able to pay 1,200 for a wash and iron shirt? And so the comrade says, no, I always use 50 bob or 30 bob and pounds for my whole laundry. And so it's easy for me, it was hard for us to penetrate through that sector. And so we thought about how now, since like connecting customers or people like us who had laundry needs to a laundry service was becoming expensive and issues all over. we felt like let's take the whole pipeline and let's build our own solution from scratch. And so this what made us to like look for other options that could complement it. And so we are fortunate to at the university to have a tool innovation, and so that connects us to like an outside world, which by extension we were able to be connected to the Boost to Business program. And so the iteration came to let's target a different niche and let's offer a professional laundry service to them. And so we established our business, and so far I must say that we're doing well. Given that we've been solid running, we've been running for 3 months solid, and it's turning out great. Thank you.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning. Okay, my name is Mombasa Entrepreneurship. I'm a 21-year-old student studying social work and community development. And I'm also a youth leader and chairman of a youth group found in Mutongwe, known as Mutongwe Youth Alliance. Now, Mutongwe Youth Alliance is a youth group that's decided to venture into agribusiness, and we do poultry farming. There are these questions that we often receive from people. Why did you decide to do poultry farming as youth when you knew there are other job opportunities and other businesses to do? So, we as Mutongwe Youth Alliance decided to venture into poultry business because we realized that most of the youth are interested in the white collar jobs and ignoring other business opportunities that are around them. So we decided to do poultry farming.
Trained and be able to get the skill that I can channel to the rest of the models. So I realized that there's that gap whereby models are not being trained and they're not being given that information, because in the morning when you wake up and a friend tells you you can be a model, they don't guide you on where you can get this information. So Haley Model Management is the platform whereby we give information to the models, we guide them, we empower them, and we give them spaces whereby they can go out there and negotiate these jobs on their own to these clients. I don't need to be there for them to get these jobs. And I would say it's an industry in Mombasa because of the tourism industry. It's an industry that, as of now, it's coming back because we have been doing our jobs and our clients are appreciating what we are doing. I'll give an example. Today when you came to Swahili Port for this event, you got an usher that ushered you in here. That is a professional model who has been trained to do that kind of job. So I would say we need to appreciate these people. Let's stop assuming that they are normal people who can do these jobs. Because I've had issues whereby clients are saying they're not going to give these jobs to us, they're going to use their people in their offices to do these jobs. So models can do jobs to you and you need to appreciate them.
Thank you very much. Haley here is like the upcoming Victoria's Secret of Mombasa. Yeah, and when we talk about that, and we talked about some of the challenges you're facing in relation to that, and we can see that creative industry is not basically just a stand-alone industry, but all the industries that are in private sector or whatever trade and services that you're having, we really need the creative people to basically promote our brands and enhance or promoting our ecosystem. And at the same time, how have you been able to access information that can actually support you in the growth of your business, to support you as an individual and the people that you're creating opportunity for? Locally, that is.
So locally, I would say we're getting a lot of support because one, I get to train my models and they're always ready when they're called out for jobs. So clients are able to appreciate that once we give them our profile, they're able to see that we can do this job. It has been a journey of building this brand because it's a brand that started in 2020 and then we had COVID. So during COVID period, what we did is we went more into training and preparing these models to be ready to take up job opportunities. So right now what we are doing is, it's upon me as a management to go to these clients and submit these profiles of the models that I have so that they can see what we can offer. And I would say that in Mombasa, I'm the only management that is running hijabi models, and that is a place that there is something that we overlook when we are doing jobs. Hijabi models are models that can also promote your brand. We don't have to segregate them. And I'm also a management that is able to take in PWDs because I've done events whereby I'm dealing with models living with epilepsy, I'm dealing with models living with albinism, and I'm dealing with models who are special. So it's a platform for me that I've been able to appreciate these models that are not given a chance, because when a client comes, they don't even see that plus size model. And for me, I'm able to show them this plus size model is able to do the same job as a normal model can do. And that is something that I'm lucky to get support from Swahili Port Hub, because this is where you're based. If you need any model management, this is our office. This hall we are using today, this is our runway, this is where we train. So this is a sport that has been able to give me clients and has been able to expose me to the right people for our jobs.
Thank you very much to our panelists. Now we can have a few questions from the audience that are here physically, and at the same time to the ones that are joining us virtually from Likoni, Jomvu, and Nyali. I think Collins, you can help us in taking the questions.
Kila mtu jambo. So kwanza ningependa kutoa shukrani kwa waandalizi wa tamasha hii wapo leo tumekuja kufanya ufunguzi wa maktaba ya vijana katika swala zima la jasiriamali. Na pia ningependa kutoa shukrani kwa wafanyabiashara wale ambao wako pale. Pongezi na kongole kwetu. Na mimi ningeomba kwamba vuguvugu hili ama maktaba hii ambayo leo inafunguliwa iweze kufanya kazi halisi, especially kwa vijana wengi wale ambao wamesauliwa pale. Sijaweza kujua mimi natoka Likoni, lakini naona kule kuna wenzangu kutoka Likoni pale kwa huku wenzangu wanatumia takataka vizuri. Na leo pia kuja fahamu kumbe unaweza kumodel na ukapata pesa. Sijawahi fikiria kitu kama hicho. So nafikiria ni vicho tu na vijana wengi ambao hawajapata hizi nafasi. So nafikiria ni kila mmoja wetu ambaye yuko hapa, hii ujumbe ama hii maktaba ambayo funguliwa, tuweze kufikishia vijana wengi ujumbe kule chini waweze kujiunga, kwa sababu vijana kama vile wazungumzaji wengi walivyozungumza kwamba wana tatizo kubwa, changamoto kubwa. Na tatizo kubwa sana tuzungumzie masuala ya akili, mimi swala kubwa pesa jamaa. Pesa ndio sababisha kila kitu. Singizia vitu vingine, sijui ana afya ya kiakili, sijui ana nini, jamaa pesa, maisha magumu. So nina imani vijana ama jamii kitia pesa mfukoni, trust me, Kenya itaendelea, watu wataendelea, amani itapatikana. So kwa hiyo mengi na machache nasema asanteni kwa kila mmoja wenu. Shukrani.
Asante sana. I think we can have another question. And just to comment on what you say, I believe that's why Marcy platform was created, because it is an information, a go-to information platform for you, so that if you want any information in relations to training, let's say Monet is in poultry, so she needs players that provide training in relations to business. So we have Boost Your Business that is there to do that. If it's in relations to poultry or agribusiness, we have people there. If it's about understanding policies or what governance put in place where it comes to government, that is there to be able to provide support. And at the same time, the key players that are able to provide funding for such kind of opportunities. So I believe Marcy is a few more questions, and please, Arafat, if you can also take up questions from the people joining us virtually.
My name is Jajna. I work for USA Funding Program, USA Important Program, which is a new program. And when you started, you mentioned that Mombasa economy is growing. And previously, from our presentation this night, you mentioned there are two factors, which is the effect of SDR and COVID, which is actually affecting Mombasa economy. So maybe I should have, or we should have more explanation or more information about areas that actually show that the economy is growing, or the opportunity, so that when we are working with the youth, we are able also to provide this information so that we can be able to access those opportunities.
Thank you very much. I think when I made that introduction, I said, according to research and reports and data, it shows that Mombasa's economy is actually growing. However, the GDP still shows to be low, and that's why it means that it is still, our economic health is still something that's wanting, that we still need to be able to tap into. And at the same time, I think we can have a side-chat conversation in relations to it in terms of the reported data that is in relation to the information that we're providing here. We can have one question from Esha, and we take a question from the people joining us virtually as we wrap up today's panel.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Esha Mohammed. I am a youth leader. I serve here as one of the youth association members, and also I serve as a director in the council. First, I am happy to see very young people doing so much within the community. But mine is just to ask, as they are doing all that, what also are they doing to push other young people who are in the same capacity as we have? Wanafanya nini kama wao? For example, watu wa poultry. Because pia kuna vijana wengine labda ndio wanaanza kufanya poultry. Nini kama nini ambao ni magwiji hapa? Unafanya nini kuwainua wale wengine? Watu wa same goes to them. What are you doing as young people? Thank you.
Would you like to respond to that question? Yes.
So I'll say, with information, for me as a model and also as a fashion designer, because today I dress myself, I've been exposed enough. I've been exposed enough to share this knowledge with the rest of the model. So what I do is I have free slots whereby I call in models for free training sessions. It can be virtually and it can be physically. At the same time, I go to the ground because I realize most models don't even know there are people who train them. And this is a challenge that I give to any management or agency that is coming up to support models. Let's train our models. let's keep them with the right skills so that they can take spaces on their own. Because if we send that information, we are not helping them. They still come back to us, and we have a saturated ground whereby we are not growing as a team. So for me, I make sure the skills that I have, I'm able to share them to the rest of the models, whether it's kids or it's someone who is old, because we also get opportunities whereby I need to scout models to do adverts, and I'll be asked maybe for a lady who is 62 years old, where am I going to get this lady? So I need to have that network to be able to give this person that opportunity, and I'm glad I'm able to have that.
Thank you very much, Haley, for that. We have someone joining us from Bangladesh who would like to talk to me. Are you able to connect us? Bangala
Please confirm you are on mute in case you're speaking.
Kwa majina naitwa Esther Mgonjwa from Shagamo's account, chairperson Shagamo Youth Focus. Mine is a concern. The concern ya kwanza, first I want to recognize my boss, Yahya, Namona in the house. Then I have to recognize Boss Mahamud. My concern is about youth empowerment. My request to Mahamud, tungeomba hii program ikuje na swala la kusaidia vijana wakati wana travel out of country. Unajua changamoto huwa inakuja pale kwa mambo ya commission. So kwa sababu hii program ina target youth, pia wa chip in, kwa sababu sio wote wanaweza kufanya biashara. Another concern, youth sio wote wanafanana. Sometimes when you launch activities like this, you have to consider wale ambao wako mashinani, labda hawaelewi masuala ya kizungu, unajua inakuwa changamoto kwao. I'm talking about mashinani. Thank you.
I think Mentor, that is a point to note that was directly addressed to you. Okay, so thank you very much for the questions that were put forward. And so with the ongoing initiative, Marcy, as a youth looking to improve your livelihood through the different ventures that you actually put across, what message would you like to everybody to be able to
I think platforms hizi zimerahisishwa kwa online. So kama vijana hatutaki kujituma, so hatutafikia mahali ama hatutafikia malengo yetu mahali tunafaa kufika, because these things are easy. Mtu atatumia link ya ku apply for a business or for any opportunity, please do apply. Sisi vijana tuko na ile shida right now there are a lot of platforms. Pili, vijana kuna youth fund, but watu wanaona ugumu wa kwenda kuapply hizo pesa ili kuzipata. Like this year, like in March, kulikuwa na groups ziliitwa zinaweza participate kwa hiyo mambo ya relation ya youth fund, but walikuwa na ugumu sana, walikuwa wanaona ni shida kwenda kwa print documents, kuandika, kujaza, then kuzipeleka kwa the offices. So I was there as naweza sema kama kiongozi wa vijana huko. kuwasaidia from the starting point ya kuprint hizo documents, kuapply ili wawezeshe waweze kupata hizo pesa ili waweze kufanya biashara zao. Pia kama kuna watu wanasaidia vijana to this point itakuwa vizuri sana, kwa sababu vijana najua hawataki kujituma. Unaelewa, pesa ziko lakini nataka kujituma kwenda kufikia zile pesa. Hataka kujituma kuingia online to apply for this kind of opportunities, to be able to influence other youths and to be able also to put yourself in the limelight, because hii biashara mimi nilianzisha kitambo na mpaka sasa hivi nimekuwa kwa limelight ya as in I get opportunities. Unaelewa, like last month nilikuwa the first winner by Plamathon na nilikuwa na compete na people from China. Unaelewa, and it was all about the youth in classic was. So hizo opportunities ziko nyingi sana. So vijana tujitume na tutafika mahali tunataka sana.
On the part of information, I'll tell you, Swahilipot has been leading in making sure that youth have given that space to just come here and learn. I participated in the Tony Elulule Foundation program, but I wasn't able to go up to the last stage of getting the grants. But that is information that I was able to get from here. So I'll say Swahilipot, we have info sessions whereby youth come in and they are able to be taken through that process of applying for these grants. The grants are there, but we don't have someone to tell you this belongs to this sector, because even most people don't even know that creatives have grants that are given to them for free, but we don't know that. So with this umbrella of Swahilipot, we are able to know that. Even for me, I'm also learning, so like I've been exposed that much to be able to learn, to know that. So with the knowledge that I'm learning, I'm also able to channel to the rest. And this is something that I urge our clients. Use our services to grow your brand. Trust us and we will deliver on that. Thank you.
Okay, I think I'm now going to speak in Kiswahili. We are all aware, yani sisi sote tunajua the problems that are facing our society. Sisi wakaazi ndio tunajua matatizo ambayo yanatukumba. Sasa sisi kama vijana, tunafaa tusimame kama vijana na tufanye utafiti, tujue eneo letu la kupata tatizo kama hili na hili, kukabili matatizo hayo. We are the change. You are the change and the change. Yes. And there's a saying that goes in Swahili. It says, penye nia pana njia. If you have an intention of doing something, then believe in yourself. Everything is possible.
So with what we're saying, I'll just finish up by saying that we need to celebrate our small wins. And so if business has been growing and you find out that there are in every stage that you're growing, whether you are starting from an idea stage, you are at a seed level, or you're getting another round of investment, there are challenges that you face at every particular level. And for you to see and to measure like a growth from the time you started to where you are, you need to take these small wins seriously. You need to celebrate them. And secondly is persistence, because nothing is created easily. In the entrepreneurship world, you will never say it's a straight path, and it will never be. There's nobody who was like figuring out to give you a template or a blueprint for you to follow. So you have to make sure that it's somehow a long journey. Need to intentionally work to improve. And so for that, I'd say that information allows us to articulate. It allows us to bring the ideas that are inside of us to a reality. And so access to that information is important, and it will enable us as business to even articulate our problems globally and even nationally. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, my dear panelists and audience, for having this amazing discussion. And it is really, I think, a turning point to youth entrepreneurship. And I believe Marcy is a platform with you to create more opportunities for us to access information in terms of funding, support, and various policies that are developed. I took the notes here that I have 2 questions from the people joining us virtually, from Kwacha and another one from Manyaka. I believe this is from Ikoni. I know we've already had our parting shots, but since they're joining us virtually, let's give them an opportunity to ask questions. Arafat?
I'm Professor Saiti. I'm an entrepreneur for Bikoni and also working as South Africa. I just wanted to know the approach that GOIN will be taking towards this entrepreneurship journey. Let me speak in Swahili so that I can air the points. Because the next point that I'll be saying concerns the language barrier and the language. Tunaona kwamba katika statistics zenye Amina Mahmoud amesema hapo kuna asilimia ya I think that 1% or not ya vijana kama hawanalizi form 4 na kuna statistics ya namba kubwa ya vijana wenye form 4 hawaendi college ama university ama technical schools, na approach ambayo nimeona ya haya mafunzo ama hii leo watu kuongea Kizungu, watu kuongea Kizungu. Sasa sijui kwa upande wenu mnacheza vipi ndio swali, kwa sababu kama tuna target mtu mwenye labda ni shule form 2 na kwa tumfuate katika hali zake ya kwamba ni mtu labda hataelewa Kizungu ama hataelewa kitu ambazo sisi ya kusema. Na pia jambo lingine ni kwamba katika presentation ya hiyo panel sijaona watu labda tumechukua vijana kutoka Kongoya, tumechukua vijana kutoka Ujamaa, tumechukua vijana kutoka Shikadabu ama Kisauni, kwa sababu hawa ndio walengwa. Inabidi tutaki watu tuwaelema tu, na kama hawa ndio walengwa wetu, presentation ingepata kwa vijana waweze kufanya entrepreneurship, waweze kujiendeleza hata kugoza as a mental entrepreneurs. Na wengi wao ukienda kwa mashinani na katika pesa wanakula wanapoipa 40,000 ya kwanza, 20,000 ndio pesa wanakula. So as GOIN, are you planning to give technical skills that is entrepreneurship ama mnapanga kwa kupeana grants? Na kama mnapeana grants, approaching itakuwa vipi? Kwa vijana wengi wakapata ile pata mtu ana shida kipatia pesa without any restrictions, without any pesa, na kama ni pesa yake mtu pesa atakula. So sivyo elimu mkanaifu kwa kama hiyo kwamba sababu cha entrepreneurship training utamfanya pesa kwa biashara. Kwa langu ilikuwa tu ile. Asante.
GDI, that is the team that is actually the data when you're actually addressing the audience.
I could do briefly.
Okay.
Although a lot of that was in speculating, but I'll do my best. As you heard the challenges, one of the things we want to do is make sure we agree on what we mean by entrepreneurship. A lot of, when we talk about entrepreneur, kind of the future Facebooks of the world, whereas the reality is that the majority of entrepreneurship is the micro businesses, the small businesses in the communities, the informal businesses in the grassroots areas. So one of the key things is recognizing that and creating supports for those kinds of entrepreneurs, which are the majority. And so as GOYN, what we're going to try to be doing is mobilizing funds and even changing how those funds are distributed so that they go to the majority and the micro entrepreneurs that are out there. We're working with the county revolving fund, we're working with national funds as well, so there's government funds that are available. How can those be better structured? So that's a big piece of supporting from the GOYN side, trying to really mobilize financing to get seed capital and working capital into the hands of micro entrepreneurs. The second is having appropriate business supports. So how do you really think about not creating the most beautiful pitch deck that's going to go for, venture capitalists, but how do you really think about who's going to buy your product, how you're going to sell them, can you make enough money per month to run your business, how do you do your accounting, how do you get your product in the morning and sell it during the day and return your financing. Very, very important. The third area I'll mention is, and I'll mention this a little bit in my closing remarks, it's very hard. And so how do we have role models like we have here as speakers? How do we have mentors to guide entrepreneurs through their journeys? So really supporting them in that way, because it's a difficult process day in and day out to really run a business. So those are just a few of the things, alongside as a community, talking about what are the challenges in registration, in taxation, all of the things that you've mentioned. So market access, communications, connecting to who's going to buy your product, thinking about setting up your business and being able to maintain that over time. So those are just a few of the things. All of this will be on the Mercy platform, and we're hoping to do it as part of all the hubs across Mombasa County. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Alice, for the response. Back to Arafat, we have one last question before we end this panel discussion.
Are you ready?
Yes, we are ready. Hi. Okay, my name is from Mombasa Entrepreneurship. My question goes to the
Wait a bit. Go on.
There were certain programs that were launched during the COVID-19, and there are certain programs that are also starting conducting business are very useful to have different business. But my work according to my research and my findings,
Your line is not clear. There is some background noise, which is for the background.
Okay, then after conducting a survey, I came to realize that youths are facing a lot of difficulty starting their business. This is in the matter of getting license and business permit. And I would like that according to my follow-up of this program, I find it gives youth a lot of chances to advance in various ways. And I would like to request that it would be good for us to find a way in conducting meetings with the parents and
let us speak the national government by making modernizing the farmers and the business cycles in order to give you several chances in investing the business. Some of us don't have the huge amount in studying huge business, but we want to start from somewhere to reach another level. So that's what I was saying. How do you start the big government organizations in order to get to reach a lot of youth who are deep in the mashinani area, and how you get to communicate what lessons all the meetings you conduct with these youth in order to enable them understand the programs that are being conducted through this program.
Okay, my name is Duke Mudaka. So, okay, yangu ni kwamba ningependa kuuliza swali kwamba katika mradi ningependa kuwapongeza sana wale na all the stakeholders kuja hivi kuweza kusaidia vijana. Okay, the issue is katika vijana kuna baadhi ya vijana ambao wamesoma na katika ule ujuzi wao ambao wamesomea wakienda kutafuta kazi wanaambiwa wakuwe na experience, maybe 2 year experience ama 3 years experience. Sasa kama hajapata ile experience baada ya kumaliza college ama university, kama akiwa na all the stakeholders ambao wanataka kusaidia youth kwa creative data itasaidia. Are you going to help us? Another thing about entrepreneurs, kuna youth mashinani ambao wamehamasishwa na government about entrepreneurs, how to start a business. Sasa issue ni kwamba wamefundishwa hakuna mtu wa kuwashika mkono. Sasa watasaidika vipi watu wamepatiwa masomo ili hakuna mtu wa kuwashika mkono? Sasa what are the plans and what the strategies ndio mnaona kuja nazo ili kazi ule kijana ambaye kwa mashinani aweze kusaidia katika pesa.
Thank you very much, our fellow youth from South Africa. I believe Alice is out of this room, but this is one of the things that she'll be able to address by the end of this forum during her final remarks speech. With that, and thank you very much. It was quite an honor to be your moderator today and representing the youth in this platform. Thank you very much, my dear panelists, for your contribution and sharing of your journey, success, and giving out the message of resilience to most of our youth out here, and to our audience and all the guest speakers and distinguished guests. Thank you very much for having us, and we're looking forward to more engagement and making Mercy a go-to platform to enable better opportunities for most of our topics. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thanks to all of you.
Right, a round of applause to them again. I know it is Shupa's first time at the program. That is tea break, but before the tea break, I want to welcome Mensa, Karibishe Waziri House.
Yes. So first is to thank you for being very patient. We wanted to make some slight changes, but before the changes, we did not want to disrupt what is happening here. So we also have amongst us the government spokesperson and the regional commissioner, Mr. Jata, and also the Media Council CEO. But they raised a very important point. We actually have more people outside than inside, and we have a COVID variant. So what we will do, instead of them coming here, I've asked them to remain at the bottom. We finish the panel, we hear Waziri of tourism and trade, and then the panel will be done for 30 minutes. Then after that, we will break. I don't know, we'll be taking tea plus lunch. And then they wanted to speak to young people. We will move down to the amphitheater, and then we will move the PA system and everything else. Then the young people can continue their conversation I think that's there, because I didn't want us to interrupt what was happening here. So I will invite the annual. I hope you are not. Yeah. So I will invite the CEC for Trade and Tourism. The department has been a great partner for Swahili Podcast. And then after that, we go to the panel, and then we have like a summary for 5 minutes. Then we will break for tea before we go down to the activity. Thank you. Thank you for doing this.
Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. I'll start by a small quote that says, "The power of the youth is the commonwealth of the entire world. The face of the young people are the faces of the past, our present and future. No segment in this society can match with the power, idealism, enthusiasm, and courage of the young people." This quote couldn't better manifest our hopes and dreams of the youth. Indeed, they hear the vision of invention and growth for the prosperity and stability of the society. As guardians, mentors, and leaders, we have the obligation to identify, nurture, and enhance capabilities to our youth in diverse spheres, possibilities of their excellence. Today, we launched the Mombasa Entrepreneurship Resource Center for Youth Mercy. I feel proud to witness this achievement that is bound to positively impact our youth. May I take this opportunity to congratulate the fraternity of Swahili Hub Foundation and the development partners for coming up, for creating an instrumental platform that will empower our youth and appreciate information on matters of entrepreneurship. Mombasa stands as a formidable, competitive business hub, given the wide-ranging resources it possesses, including modern infrastructure, which include the fiber optic cables, natural assets, human resources, among others. This feature provides numerous opportunities for purposeful growth and development. As a county government, we have endeavored to support entrepreneurship in the county by creating a conducive business environment through automation of various services. Under the Ease of Doing Business program, the delivery include online processing of the single business permit, fire certificate, liquor licensing, and advertising permit. This achievement created a lot of efficiency for businesses by reducing the cost and time of processing licenses. It minimized corruption by reducing human interaction in processing of the permits. It reduced errors and enhanced profiling of businesses for improved service delivery, further achieved by increased registrations of businesses and revenue. To encourage entrepreneurship, the county government earlier this year, in 2021, introduced the issue of 30% waiver for selected categories of newly established small-scale businesses. The target beneficiaries for this program were women, youth, and people with disabilities. Additionally, to minimize the cost of doing business, we have unified charges for businesses with multiple activities, since charging each activity separately would be disadvantaged in terms of cost and time processing of the permits. To expand on and attract more businesses, the county government has constructed over 300 modern stalls in various town centres. We built new facilities within the local markets and renovated existing ones to create more space and additional entrepreneurs and improve the environment that they operate in. Examples of these trades facilities are the Pomeware Market, Shika Dabu, Chani, and Martin Market. As the Mombasa County Government, we desire to see more productive and flourishing economy. And we believe it is the strength and enthusiasm of the young citizens of this county that will enable this realization of this great vision. The County Government of Mombasa supports Mercy initiative and will work together with the Swahili Hub Foundation and its development partners to ensure the success of this noble program. We are ready and willing to forge partnership with local and international organizations for the purpose of empowering the youth of Mombasa. Let us therefore encourage the young people to engage Mercy platform and effectively use this to its fullest exploit. To fully exploit our resources and entrepreneurship and other creative purposes, I wish to conclude by thanking the founder of Swahili Hub Foundation with its partners for this purposeful initiative in creating Mercy and organizing this event. May I also appreciate the stakeholders who participated in various ways to make this program and event possible. Before I end, I'd just like to say that I know I am Minister for Trade, Tourism and Investment, and we do have the Department of Youth, Gender and Sports. I just want to assure you of that my office, I encourage an open door policy. So you don't come to me thinking, oh, that's the minister, I can't access him. You can access me at any time. I'm not a politician. I'm not going to lie to you. I'll try my best to do whatever I can.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Mr. Faust Rashid. So as we heard, we were to break for tea right now, but unfortunately we are not. So we will have our second panel discussion going on before we break so that we can change locations, because of course of the numbers, we are more than what we expected, and that is a very good sign. So I hope all of you will keep it on for the second panel discussion, and I would love to invite the moderator for the second panel discussion, Daisy. Thank you so much, Daisy. And I will call out the panelists for the second panel discussion: Lilian Wambua, Evelyn, Zayad. Thank you so much. You look so beautiful. Thank you so much, Daisy. You can call out your panelists and introduce them.
Thank you so much, for that introduction. I know my panelists are here, they're ready. As they're coming to have a sit, recognizing we have Lilian Wambua from Boost Your Business, we have Evelyn Garrett from KPA, we have Mercy from ABC Kenya, we have Said from Hazina, we have Freudis, thank you so much, from TechBridge, and finally we have Jeremy Betta from SEA. We're getting a seat for you, sir. So, for this particular panel discussion, and before we dig in deeper, to everyone watching us from the different hubs, watching us live, my name is Daisy Prasad. I am the Creative Pathway Lead, GOYN, working closely with opportunity youths who are keen to venture into the creative space. And for this particular discussion, we are shifting gears and talking to the stakeholders. the partners who have the information. From the presentation that we received earlier about Mercy, one of the long-term vision for Mercy is to support youths access appropriate resource within the Mombasa ecosystem. You're looking from mindset change all the way to growth stage. And I know as partners sitting on this panel, you are supporting at one level or the other. You're providing co-creation support. There are accelerators here. There's advisory support. And on different business stages, like we've heard from the youth panel that just ended, whichever phase they're in business, they're facing something totally different. How can we as stakeholders, how can we as partners come together, collaborate, coordinate, and provide this information? And before we dig in deeper about that topic of discussion, I want to give our panelists a minute to introduce themselves and the amazing work they're doing in the organization. I know we have abbreviations, so good to share with the youths all the way from Likoni to know what KPA means, what MSEA means. Yeah, thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Lilian Wambua. I am the operations manager of Boost Your Business. And Boost Your Business is an incubation program that is based at Loseka Hub. What we do is that we incubate small businesses and idea stage businesses with a focus on them, by the time they finish our program, having a positive financial impact, social impact, and most importantly, a positive environmental impact.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Evelyn Ngari. I work with KPA, and KPA actually means CAP Youth Empowerment Institute. We are a Kenyan NGO, and we started operations in Kenya like 10 years ago. That's 2010. And the work we do basically is skilling young people and connecting them to livelihood opportunities. And we do that by, skilling in the TVET sector. That's the skills that are in the TVET space, so hairdressing, most especially like what the young people are talking about, hairdressing, electrical, and all that. And then we employment opportunities that are able to help themselves. And we work with young people in three livelihood ways. One is full-time employment. There are those ones who will train, for example, hospitality, will get them jobs in the hospitality space. But there are those ones who will actually want to be entrepreneurs. So that's another line. We have full-time entrepreneurs and others go for further studies. So far, KPA has trained over 80,000 young people directly, but indirectly, we are working with TVET space, government-owned organizations, around 150 right now. So I think we're continuing the conversation.
Yes, good afternoon. My name is Freddie Archer. I'm the Chief Operation East Africa for Untitled Chapter. Thank you for inviting me. To introduce TechBridge, I would just like to tell you a short story. A story about a boy of 18 from Norway that came to Mombasa in 1988. His name was Aiden. He totally fell in love with Mombasa and the people here, but he was very saddened by the loss of opportunities here in business, and he wanted to come back one day. Aiden, he became a very successful businessman in Norway and ran about 7 to 8 tech companies. And I was very lucky to meet him in 2015, where I supported him to realize his dream. And in 2016, we were here. We had our first TechBridge challenge with youth in Mombasa to train them and maybe look for business opportunities together with the youth. Sadly, Aiden passed away earlier this year, but the vision is very much alive. And together with our partner, Argidius, we're very happy to have now very solid entrepreneurship programs, both incubation and acceleration, based in the other big city hall. And our vision is to create jobs and impact at the coastal area in Mombasa.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Zayed Said. I'm the CEO of Hazina Group of Companies. We are a group that supports marginalized women and youth through accessibility of financial and non-financial services. We do this by providing microcredit facilities, interest-free microcredit facilities to groups of women and youth who are out of formal employment, out of school. So this, I believe, is what GORN call opportunity youth. Yeah, so we work with opportunity youth and opportunity women. And we also have a business accelerator program where we support startup businesses by providing business skills to effectively run their businesses. We also provide mentorship support and investment financing of up to $3,000. Glad to be here. Thank you.
Good afternoon. My name is Masi Wafula. I work for African Entrepreneur Collective Kenya. African Entrepreneur Collective is a business consultancy company based here in Yali. We are located in Kenya across 4 locations. And also we have a presence across East Africa, in Rwanda and Ethiopia. What we do is that we provide business advisory services geared to grow businesses, geared to make businesses sustainable, and also we provide financing services, investment opportunities, and our aim is to be able to work with businesses to create employment opportunities. At the same time, we are partner in this ecosystem, collaborating with other organizations to create the desired impact. Thank you so much.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Ujira Mbetsa. I work for an organization called Micro, Small and Enterprise Authority, that is IPSEA. I am the account enterprise officer in charge of Mombasa and Kilifi. The authority is in the Ministry of Trade, Industry and Enterprises, national government, and its main mandate is to develop, promote and regulate the MSC sector. It was enacted in an Act of Parliament of 2012, Act number 55. We do coordination, we regulate and also register MSCs, whether in groups or in individuals. We also do capacity building, we do international training, and in conjunction with the World Bank project, which is in the Ministry of ICT, Innovation and Youth Affairs, we run a component on grants for the youth. We give youth grants up to 40,000 so that they can start or maybe enlarge their businesses. And we have been in the process since 2018, and the program ends in 2022 December. So I'm glad to be here, and I'm ready to answer your questions. Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much. Amazing work, amazing initiative from each and every organization here. And from the youths that have just shared their feedback earlier, they're saying, we want to know more, we want more support. How do we know that Hazina is this particular program? How do we know, this is an amazing project going on? How do I know as a youth all the way in Likoni, how to access this information? And that is where Mercy comes in. But then the other question for us as stakeholders, the question of collaboration. Mercy has kind of existed on its own. We have to work together, we have to share data, we have to share information, we have to share opportunities. Youths are using various platforms to access this, from WhatsApp, from where they hang out with their friends, from online, from even coming to hubs like Swahili Pod. But how do we come together and say we are supporting this platform and we are sharing all the initiatives that we have here? And with that in mind, you see the enthusiasm they have. The young people are starting businesses. Against all odds, we're hearing about poultry farming, going all the way to the county office to ask for that information. Mercy is coming in and support. As ecosystem players, as partners who've been there, we put together initiatives. How are you recommending that we continuously collaborate and support each other? This is for all the panelists here, apart from Musa, very specific question from Sarah, from the government. But I want to hear from Lillian, all the way to Mercy. From your different organizations, how would you recommend we continuously work together and continuously collaborate?
Allow me to take us back a little bit, because it's important as young people we understand why all these organizations represented here exist. Taking the example of the poultry business that you just mentioned, I'm going to imagine this is a broiler poultry business. So when you're having a broiler, when you're trying to set up a broiler business, you have to create the structure first. And when you create that structure, and you have to go and source for either sawdust, or you put in also the lighting, you get the booster, you get the food, and that structure itself is called an incubator. And why do we put the chicks there? We put the chicks there because that incubator creates the right environment for the chicks to be able to mature into chickens. Is it possible to rear the chicks outside of the incubator? It is possibly possible. But if you do that outside, the conditions are harsh. The possibility of that chick dying is even greater. The possibility of it disappearing as it wanders away is even greater. So we as incubators exist to create value. Yes, we can decide to run a business outside of an incubator, outside of this support organization, but you're going to have a more difficult time when you're outside. But if you anchor yourself to one of these business support organizations, then we can spearhead your growth. You can spearhead that idea from where it is right now to where you want it to be. We can help you eliminate all the mistakes that you make in between, because we supported other businesses before. So if you're anchoring yourself in an incubation program or in an acceleration program, the possibilities of you succeeding are higher. So that's why we're not just here to sit. When mass is launched, you need to find out what is there. Come to us, come and ask, how can I benefit? How can I be part of the program? You can know we exist, but you can be part of why we exist. Now back to your question, how have we been solving the problem of information gap? So the thing is, even us as Close the Gap, as Boost Your Business, we are a new incubator. And one of the biggest challenges we found is there's a skills gap. Yes, we are disseminating information. We are saying we are recruiting for a new cohort, but our information is just getting to the surface. It's like come a magic of a friend, then we are pouring the oil and it's just staying on top. So it's not getting to the opportunity youth, because the opportunity youth are huko chini kabisa. So how we've been able to try and mitigate these challenges through partnerships. And partnership with almost all the organizations that are on this panel, we partner with them. So when we're sourcing, we're partnering with youth groups that are in the communities. We are going to ward leaders, we are telling them, we are going to religious leaders, this is what we are trying to offer. So we are trying to remove where we are the ones sourcing. When we are the ones sourcing, we'll just source at the premium, because we know TUM, we know Poly University. Now to me, they use that are not really opportunity youth per se. But when we are sourcing together with our community, I believe was really mentioned earlier that our backdrop is communities. So we are going to the communities, we are trying to talk to community leaders for them to help us source. And then after they have come through our incubation program, now we become a funnel to them going to Hazina, to them going to TechBridge. So we've created that pipeline because each of us as stakeholders have a unique proposition that we are offering to this. Understanding what's the value proposition of Push Your Business, what's the value proposition of TechBridge, what's the value proposition of AEC. Where do I start? You have to start here to get there, because you cannot jump straight to AEC. She just mentioned that they do business acceleration growth. So you have to understand us, because we as support organizations have already clearly defined what we are doing. So the youth also need to do a little bit of research, and even now with the massive platform that information is going to be available, then see where are you in that chain and where can you plug yourself in to be able to get the best value. Thank you.
All right. So first of all, I'd like to congratulate all the people who came up with Mercy, because it has come at a point when we actually needed young people need it, the opportunity youth need it, the women need it. And having got that out of my system, I wanted to talk about what this mercy is coming to solve vis-a-vis what we do as Cape Empowerment Institute. And as I understood your question, Daisy, it's how can Cape, partner with Mercy and young people to see how, to make Mercy successful and young people get the opportunities they need. Cape works with the vulnerable young people, and we work with them, as I said earlier, in training them and in skilling them and getting them to the employment space. So Mercy comes in very, strategically for us, because it puts all the opportunities we're telling the young people to get in the Mercy platform. So I would actually encourage all the other players to actually join the people who are coming up with the Mercy and putting the opportunities there, and the young people to also interact with the opportunity, to also interact. But I'd like to reiterate that as a Mercy platform to ensure that it's going to work, because when you look at the Kenyan economy, just a minute to look at the ecosystem, the Kenyan economy has been on a growth trajectory. But when you look at it, I was looking at the statistics in Kipra, it's only two sectors that have been bringing this growth trajectory. That's the mobile communications and the financial services. And this one is because, quote unquote, there's so many informal jobs right there that have been created, opportunity as a way that
do you collaborate or should we collaborate in the ecosystem? For Tech Britain is part of our strategy to collaborate. But first I would like to say that when we came here 5 years ago, the ecosystem was nearly non-existing. And I felt that also because we are private sector led, I think everybody is beginning to understand that the private sector and investment is needed, and that approach, yes, the impact sort of entrepreneurship is very important, especially early stage, because there's so many unemployed youth here that could be able to find themselves self-employed, for example. But also there are talented youth here. For example, the Technical University of Mombasa, they have good ideas, and they also deserve to get their ideas supported. And we are here to support those that have already a prototype. So we are therefore very, very happy to partner with Crosswise Works and Lillian here, who used to do this program, to take over those that have been incubated at the early stage, pick up those that maybe have a scalable business idea, and take them further up. And then with our acceleration program, we really want to partner with others, like the AEC. I would really love to talk to you afterwards and see how we can collaborate. I'm sure you can support our startups with their services, and any others in the ecosystem. We are very, very happy to work with them. And I could also mention that we are going to have some ecosystem events run by us, and the first one will be a new tech session, hopefully next week or the week after. And we feel that there's a lack of new tech knowledge in the ecosystem, and we're very happy to partner with Angela to do that session. So more about that later. Thank you.
Thank you. I think to answer that question, I'll start by telling everyone that information, as you all know, is power. And if you lack information, then you're going to definitely fail in a number of things. And if you have the statistics right, that there are 2,000 or 20,000 programs running in Mombasa, and majority of us in this room are not even aware of even a quarter of those programs. And this is why we need a platform like Mercy. I think Mercy is an idea which was needed. Kenya has been doing its work since 2011, been in the market for 10 years. And we didn't have tech platforms like Mercy. So what we've been doing is we've been going down to the field. Yeah, we have field officers all over the world. cost of region. And then we're going down to the field, talking to the local administration, going to the market centers, just trying to create that awareness. So I think Mombasa is a platform that with the current generation, the generation TikTok and the generation Instagram, would be able to benefit more because we are always on our phones. So instead of just looking at videos on TikTok, we could be looking for opportunities on Mombasa. This is a good platform. And all the partners or all these programs, I believe, should be part of the platform. And this is how we're going to support young people.
Thank you so much for that question. We start by saying, all of us, different stakeholders, the reason why we are here is that we exist to solve a problem. We are looking for different sets of entrepreneurs. So we are not competing, we are working together, but for different groups. We have the incubators at idea stage, we have an accelerator program. And the reason why we need to collaborate is young people are facing an issue of unemployment. Not even COVID could stop the virtual graduations. We saw them on television. It meant more and more graduates were being put out in the market. Where are they going to go? We need to strengthen the business ecosystem to be able to absorb or empower these young people to start their own businesses, for them to create employment opportunities. So for me, collaboration is if we meet an entrepreneur or meet a young person, then at an idea stage, we do not work with the idea stage. We pass them over to an organization that will mold them, will mold this idea, and will help this person start that business. Rather than tell them, no, we don't do that, bye. This person gets discouraged. What have we done? The other thing that I'll talk about collaboration is the rate of startup failure. We've seen the statistics. Most startups don't get their time back. But if they go through an incubator, they go through an accelerator, they are able to succeed, we are able to sustain this business. But the other question is, if we collaborate as stakeholders, we will not let this person go through 10 programs in 2 years and not make progress on the idea they originally had. But if we collaborate, let's build a pipeline. They have gone through an incubation. They want to scale up. Refer them to an accelerator program that will pick it up from there and grow their business. Is there a funding opportunity? Is there an investment opportunity that we can give this young person to be able to scale up their business? And with time, we will not have a season whereby for 5 years, somebody has been at an idea stage. Then for us in the ecosystem, we'll ask ourselves, what is our impact? What do we want to achieve in Mombasa? 220,000 organization, that's a big number. Let's look at the unemployment rate. So let's collaborate. Let's come together in terms of this is what we offer. At our organization, we work both with micro enterprises and small SMEs, growing SMEs across various locations for the past 10 years. Over 35,000 entrepreneurs. Surely there's something that you can pick from AC. There's something that we can also learn from each other. So for us, we're looking at collaboration as a two-way process. We create this pipeline where we tell people, but also let's not say no and don't send this person over to Eva because Eva close the door can help her, or TechBridge where they can find support. So let's collaborate. It's a two-way process. Let's not say no and yet we know what this different stakeholders are doing. So for the massive platform, it comes in at the right time. Why? Because young people have information. They will now know that for me to start for me to implement my business idea, these are the organizations that can help me. For me to get funding, these are organizations that can help me. And this information is power. We need to help young people succeed in the businesses that they are running, and this platform comes in handy in the sense that they'll be able to test out, they'll be able to visit, they'll be able to see what will work best for them, rather than wait 3 years later and realize they should have talked to a different partner sometimes back. So it's a great platform. One, it provides information, and also it provides an opportunity for a young person to see clearly in the next 3 years, this is how my business can either grow, or this is my path to grow. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Cassie. And we brought out something very important. We as stakeholders are dealing with businesses at different levels. and we are putting together initiatives for entrepreneurs. But then some of them might not be directly to start with the youth, right? But we're working with businesses that can stand in to be a support for this youth, either through peer-to-peer learning. If you're working with a business that has existed for 10 years, in the same industry with a youth who's starting a business in the same industry, why don't we say, please guide them? The ecosystem is great, and as the ecosystem, especially for businesses and entrepreneurs, it is that handholding that helps more. One of the you mentioned here, it's a very lonely journey. If you run a business, it is a very lonely journey. So as stakeholders having access to successful businesses, how can we also share this information, the support, the skills to the young people as they are starting their businesses? And the question to you, Jaya, is as we listen to the rest of the panelists, they're doing different initiatives. Key high point there was the assumption of private land as a government entity. What are you putting in place to also support this initiative, one way or another?
First, I will say I'm supporting my values, my colleagues. Formation is power, and the mass has come at the right time. In fact, me as an only employee of the government, I can remember it has taken a position what we used to call DDC before this regime. DDC means District Development Committee. That committee was initially to coordinate all the players in the government and even the private sector. We would meet at the DC's office or at the PC's office, and all of us would share what we are providing to the community. And then we can now see how we can partner and maybe avoid what we call duplication of activities or work. So I can say mass has come at the right time. In fact, it has taken the position of what we are used to call DDCs. Okay, as the government, SARE is just 1.5 years old. But as I said earlier, our main mandate is to coordinate all the players in the MC sector, both in the public or in the private sector. So, still, we are developing some systems of how we could do this thing. For example, right now, we are doing the formalization of all the MSCs, both individual or groups. So that as we say, and we see there's a player, like for partners here, they come and they're taking a certain group, we can now have that database. That you need these people, maybe in agribusiness, these are the people and this locality. That's what we are now doing. We are preparing a database of all the MSCs in the country. And we are targeting 5 million MSCs. Already we are almost at 30%, both individual and in groups. Our groups are normally called MSC associations. Like on Tuesday, we were like one ferry. We are registering all those focus so that we have their data. So when a partner like this comes, we know where to find these people. But already mass is coming and we really support it. In fact, I think we came as you say, we are in the process of signing an MOU with the Swahili port so that we can also assist in the youth get this information. So as a government, we are coordinating, regulating, and also promoting and developing the MC sector. So we are not yet late. We are in the process, and I will very much welcome the work to be done by mass, and we really support it. And my CEO, in fact, wants to be here, but currently we have taken some MSCs from the whole country to Mwanza in Tanzania. USAID also promotes the MSCs in assessing markets for their products. So we have an exhibition in Mwanza in Tanzania, which will run for the whole week. But because of COVID-19, we did not get good numbers because the finances have gone down. We wanted some support from the county government, but unfortunately for Mombasa, we are told there was no budget on that. So the few we got from Mombasa, I think there are only 2. They are now exhibiting their products in Nyanza. And then both, we do support 4 subsectors. One is manufacturing. Because this authority was initially what was called Ijuakali programs. But with that name, we found that youth, especially those ones from the universities, from colleges, could not join this organization because according to them, they thought it was only meant for those who never went to school and the ones who are old. Panel beating, mechanical work, carpentry work. So we changed that one to micro and small enterprises so that we can now bring in other subsectors like agribusiness. We bring the traders who are called brokers, the ones that were registered the other day, and then we also register what we call service providers. These are people with small hookahs, kiosks, hotels. They are also covered in us. So we are preparing a database of all those subsectors so that other players coming in and maybe the government does not have the capacity to support them, they can do the leakaging. Also as a government, what we have started with in Mombasa, and this for the information of all of us, we have opened a biashara center at the KEBS offices, Kenya Bureau of Standards, just opposite Ambalale House. We have a biashara center at the ground level. What we have started with, we have brought in all the agencies in the Register of Trade, Industry, and Enterprises. So that when an agency comes, it can be served within one shop. We have agencies like Kirgi. Kirgi is about doing research and developing the innovations by our youth, especially the graduates. More research on there. Then we also have KIPI. KIPI is about, then we also have KIE. To say at current, we don't have any finances, apart from what I talked earlier. We are only supporting the World Bank on KIO. But now because we don't have finances, we have brought in KIE. KIE will give funding to the MSCs and also give financial support and plus equipment support. And also incubation for MSCs, especially those who are just starting. Then we also have we have KENAS. KENAS is just like KEBS. It is protecting now, it is now registering or giving accreditation to all MSCs in services, especially in transportation and maybe in clearing and forwarding services. So that when that fund comes to us, we know how to regulate that fund to our MSCs. That's why we are doing registration. So the first question we ask you as an individual or a group, are you registered with SEA? If you are not, I'm very sorry. So get that information that you should register with SEA so that you can get that funding. Thanks a lot. Maybe I can answer those questions when they come.
Thank you so much, Njera. You brought out something very key. And I can hear questions from the audience, and I know the youth listening in from the Kogi want to know, is this process, registering process still ongoing? When is the MSE fund starting? Something very close to our conversation here is this information, it is this data that Mercy is coming to support, filling this gap, that how can I receive information that is useful at the correct time. You don't want to have a youth saying, this would have been an amazing opportunity, but I just found out now when it was posted 4 weeks ago. So what are the table funding? Just to hear from you on this particular conversation. In terms of financing the youth, and I know it's always highest when we're financing idea stage level. That's why we have different levels of support. Is it research? Is it mentorship? Is it capacity building first before funding? So I want to hear from you. How has it been supporting businesses in this space? And what are the best practices? And are you ever extending to the opportunity? Thank you.
All right, thank you for that question. It's a very good question. When we talk of financing youth, it's a very risky affair. And most lenders normally shy away from financing youth. But that doesn't mean that we cannot finance youth. Yeah? There are a lot of constraints as well that youth are facing. One is they do not have a credit history, because that is what most lenders look at. How's your credit history? Youth don't have that. Is that insurance loan that they took? And so are you going to deny that youth because of that 200 shillings? Yeah? They also don't have collateral. Because it's a risky affair, most lenders look for collateral. So I think we need to shift from the traditional lending models where we look at history, we look at collateral and all that. We need to shift that to relationship financing. Yeah? We at Hazina, how we do it is we work with groups mostly. I had said earlier that we work with women and youth, so we mobilize them into groups. We train these groups on different areas. First, being in a group, and then debt management, and all that. Yeah? And then we also handhold them. So we advise them on a continuous basis, and we also provide ongoing mentorship support. To a point that we have built a very good relationship with these women and youth. We know them, yeah? And we finance individuals within a group. So there is also that peer pressure that if I don't pay, then Mercy, who needs to borrow also, will put a pressure on me to pay. So you see that the aspect of being in a group also helps the financial institution or the lender to ensure that the money is paid back or the risk is reduced. Yeah? So I think when you do it fast, we look at relationship more than what looking at collateral and history, and then youth lack education. Yeah? A number of youth, when they get money, they don't know how to utilize the money. So financial education is key. And this is a call to all players who are financing youth. I think it's important to ensure that in your programs, you extend that financial education, then you can give them loans. But it's a very risky affair. You can't just dish out money to youth. If you have free money to give out and you don't want it back, then yes, you can do it. But you need to have a certain process. You need to ensure that you have financial education, you have mentorship programs that you support with youth, and let's look more on character and relationship other than looking at collateral and history.
Thank you so much, Zaid. Very key. We look at when you say youths don't have the skills, and we hear partners here offering capacity development programs. We have entrepreneurship programs from KPA. Boost Your Business are doing an amazing incubator program. It is that correlation, that coordination of when you are a youth starting your business. Best support is from this organization. When you move further in, this is where you get support. And Mercy stepping in and supporting that is very, very crucial. I'm being informed, good people joining in virtually. Our youths really have questions for you. I want to confirm Arafat. In a minute, the young people have put together questions. You are the partners with the information. The ask is directly to you. And as we wait for Arafat there, I want to put to the rest of the panelists, especially for IEC AEC, sorry, and Fridays here. You're dealing with businesses that are looking at either towards accelerators or scaling up. What advice would you give, or what level of support are you looking to provide for the youths who are, like Jared said, they're leading an MSE session? We're saying you're starting your business, you're starting the market. We might be using heavy languages here, but they are in the same path towards the business that both the organizations are supporting. So we'll start with the first, and Mercy, then I check in with Arafat.
What advice we would like to give the youth that would like to enter our acceleration program? So, acceleration programs are usually for post-revenue companies. It means that they have had to have some sales of their products, right? So it already excludes a lot of early-stage startups. So that's the most important criteria that we have to join our acceleration program. They call it traction, to prove that we have sold the product means traction. Secondly, because we are tech-rich, our criteria that we should be tech-enabled. That's also a different word, but it means that we're using tech to grow your business, right? It's often an app, a website that enables you to grow the business beyond the street in Mombasa that we live, for example. It also could include manufacturing. So, for example, if you produce something, it could be yogurt. If you could scale it up by buying a machine, right? And it could be a very profitable business. What advice? Well, we just say go out to the market really to get those sales, to understand your customer. What is their problem that you have to solve? Who is your customer, and try to find your first customer and to then maybe work with that first customer to improve your product. I think that's the main thing.
Thank you so much for that question. For us to look at least you've run your business for at least 6 months, but you've already started making some sales, you've identified your customers, but you're trying to still figure out. So we have a number of things that we look at, but basically we start at the point of you'll be there, you've tried, you've tested, there's some sales that are coming in. So our work is to help you figure out your systems, your structures, your processes. So rather than doing it alone, we are that partner that takes away that headache. Figuring out where do I get my customer. Right now we're in a period whereby everyone's eyes is on recovery. You had this the COVID, we're still in the COVID season, and one knows when it will end. Which means that we have to change the way we behave ourselves, we have to change to look for that customer. It means like even online, there is a new market that has just come up that is untapped online. So we have various projects in digital advisory, financial management, sales and marketing. But at the end of the day, try something, get somewhere, we come and have it somewhere. We will help you grow. Thank you so much.
Very fast. Are we ready for the young people? 1 more minute. All right, the young people will be sending in questions. So just as we wrap up our panel, I want to give each and every panelist to give a parting shot. What does Mercy mean for you? Mercy, the platform itself, not you, Mercy, but what does Mercy, the platform, mean for the collaborative that you're doing and the projects that you're about to roll out? I'll start this side now.
Thanks a lot again. To me, Mercy means a lot. As I've said earlier, it has taken a very good forum which used to be there and I hope it will do more than what it used to do. In fact, also Mercy has simplified our work as we say, because we are saying we are to coordinate. But we now see we are late, but Mass has come. So Mass has come at the right time, and I'm sure it will really assist you, sir. And I'm sure because most of you are youth, you are very good in the technology, unlike us of some of us in the offices. I hope you are going to cooperate, to coordinate with you, and I'm sure my CEO will be so happy about it. I would wish to say something like you did earlier, madam, for the entrepreneurs. USAID has also what we call working sites. Working sites where we take our incubators, we give them space for free for some period so that they can grow. As they grow, then they can mature and go out. Currently, we have built what we call a post-basic industrial development center at Ilikoni at a place called Bububu. It's a big land. We have just put 4 workshops, and we are in the process of registering a group there led by Maulid. These are a testimony on that. We have to put as many seeds in that land so that they can do their businesses for free. Also for the youth who are maybe in the technology sector or maybe they want maybe skills, we take youth to Kariobangi. We have a center of excellence where we do train them on the basic machines, like lathe machines in wood and lathe metal work. So as they are trained, they also come to our sites in the counties to train other youth. Because the same machines will be put in those CIDCs and work sites for the common use of agencies from that locality. So you go there, you get services at a cheaper price than you're going to maybe to Ambindi. Especially maybe some nuts, some springs, it will assist you with that. We are also partnered with Stanley to do what we call digital entrepreneurship training, so that our youth can access what we call e-marketing. Because of COVID-19, we have come up with that platform, and we are sure this will be very useful to our youth. Finally, we have also partnered with Quick Bank, so that our MCs can go and get some cheap, and get loans at lower rates. And it's also already happening in Mombasa and Nairobi. So our youth, our entrepreneurs, you are most welcome. As you see there, say all about al-Mashauri ya ujasiriamali. Ujasiriamali simply means what? Entrepreneurship. So we are targeting the youth, especially those in innovations and maybe product development. So please come. Our offices are in the SSF building, 2nd floor. Most welcome, please.
For me, I'm excited. Massive platform comes in at the right time. One, because of the accuracy of the information or the information about stakeholders. This means that the desired target group, that's the opportunity youth, will be able to access information that will help them in making decisions. At the same time, will accelerate the growth of these enterprises. Because this platform was non-existent, and now that it's going to exist, they are able to make a selection or be able to gather information in a short period of time. The other thing is opening up Mombasa to other stakeholders. There are people who are interested in coming to Mombasa. There are people who are looking at Mombasa as the next city after Nairobi for growth. So this platform also will guide investors, will guide interested parties, whoever is interested to support a business, a young person, or even partner with the government to improve the economic situation of Mombasa. I believe that this platform will be a go-to place for such information. Thank you so much.
I think Mercy, if you try to move away from Mombasa entrepreneurship resource center for youth, it's also a blessing. Yeah, Mercy also means blessing, isn't it? Yeah. So I think young people, we are blessed to have such a platform. Yeah? when I was starting out in business, we never had such platforms or people-driven advice. But I think this is a blessing, and every youth should take this opportunity to engage with the system and all interact with the system and apply for the programs that are there. The statistics are just scary. 373,000 youth in Mombasa out of all the population of Mombasa. So there's a big percentage of opportunity. So we need to bring down that figure. And I think this is a call for all youth. Let's not just sit and wait as people say to Angola Maembe, they are booking. No. Let's take an initiative of starting something, and Mass is a platform to show you where to begin. Thank you.
Good luck.
So this is what I'd say. For Mercy, I'm just hoping and looking forward for data and for the expansion of Mercy from Mombasa to the other counties. And that's where I believe Capital Empowerment Institute can come in very handy, as well as other organizations that are beyond Mombasa. Thank you so much.
I see Mercy as a platform that first is important for us as stakeholders to be able to communicate value, and secondly for us to tap into the skills that are available in the community. We have so many, not all of them can be entrepreneurs, but they have skills that can be used in those entrepreneurship businesses that they're trying to develop. So how can we bring all these people in one place and then be able to harness that value and turn it into an ecosystem that actually creates jobs?
Thank you, and that brings us to the end of our second panel. Please, let's clap for our panelists as they leave. And I'll hand this back to Solomon and Shufa.
Thank you so much, Daisy, for that wonderful moderation. It was an amazing discussion. I don't know why people don't have questions. Wow, are you tired? You're hungry? It's okay. Thank you. We thank you so much for your patience and your your attentiveness. So we will break for our
So what I request, today I've been between a rock and a hard place. I hope that is the right one. Because we kept the regional commissioner and the government spokesman and other dignitaries of government down there for 2 hours. But I told them it was also important for us to finish what we had planned for almost a month. So what I will request is now we move down to the amphitheater, which has already been prepared, and then we will bring the lunch down there. We will listen to them, especially the young people, because they really wanted a session with young people. And then after that, we will actually let you know what is next. But we will start lunch from down there. I think after lunch will be done. But for now, for those who are online, I just want to thank the team in Likoni, Manyata, I know Malenga and the team that are down there, Funny Youth Network, the people in Bangladesh, led by Alfred Sigo, Quach Africa, in the Saudi Nyani. So we thank you for this. But I think we've had a fruitful engagement. Alice will do a summary down there so that we will also meet the two. So I request we go from outside this way, and then we will start lunch down there, led by our young people. The peer system will also move down. So in 5 minutes, we should be down there. I can tell you something.
It is very possible, and the government is a government that gives equal opportunities to everyone. Madam Lucy.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Regional Commissioner, all protocols observed. My name is Lucy Kapura, and I am an assistant council commissioner. this is the face of the youth in government today. So, but then tuko na jukumu kama vijana. We have a responsibility kuondoka nyumbani na kwenda kuchukua hizi skills ambazo zinahitajika ili tuweze kuwa employable. So today I'm trying to speak to you that actually tutumie vitu ambavyo tunavyo kama simu. My application, I did it using my phone, and right now I'm in government. I'm living my dream job. So yangu ni kwenu kama vijana, tukubali kutumika kwa njia ambazo zinafaa. Tusikubali kutumika na wanasiasa kuvuruga. Sisi ndio viongozi wa leo na tuchukue position yetu. Kwa hivyo nawaomba kwamba tuchukue skills hizi ambazo tunapatiwa, we take advantage so that we can be employable. Yangu si mengi na nawashukuru leo.
Thank you so much, Madam Lucy. What she has not mentioned is that when she left school, she volunteered somewhere. That is where other people can easily notice your competency. So when you leave college, don't just go and sit at home and say there's no work. Just choose to go and volunteer. Personally, I volunteered for 3 years in a secondary school teaching. Immediately I left university. So when you volunteer, it gives you a platform where you can now get a government job, you can do your applications very comfortable. So that's the bit she forgot. Now I want also to introduce another youth, Bwana Munyiri.
Samahani kidogo, network ilikuwa busy kidogo, samahani. Our government spokesman na CEO wetu na board member Patience na the security team ambayo imeambatana pamoja na regional commissioner na RC wetu wa media council na wana youth. Habari zenu? Habari zenu? Mko salama? Kwa majina naitwa John Munyiri. Mimi nafanya pale media council. I'm in charge of government relations, grants and fundraising. I'm sure nikisema hivyo mnapata kuelewa because this is what happens here as part of project management. Civil to fundraise. How many here know how to fundraise for a project? Naona shapo, naona watu wanaelewa. So that's what I do at the council. Sitaki kuongea mengi. What I can say as young people, there's something we talk about professional effectiveness. Be professional in whatever you do. If you are the best sweeper or you are a sweeper, be the best sweeper that everyone will live to remember. So kila chote ambao mtu anafanya, kama wewe ni mtu wa IT, give it your best. Kama wewe ni mtu, if you are an MC, give it your best. Whatever professional, kama ni mambo ya biashara, give it your best. So sistaki kusema mengi because my CEO is here, najua atapata kuzungumza. So I wish you well in everything that you do. Asante.
Asante sana Bwana Munyiri. Ningependa kumwita Bwana Omoyo ambaye ndio CEO wa Media Council.
Asante sana, mjambo. Naitwa David Omoyo, CEO Media Council of Kenya. Kwa hivyo watu wa magazeti na watu wa kupiga picha ni watu wetu. Bwana spokesman, RC na wengine au protocol zao. Pia niko hapa na mmoja wenu, Patience Nyange, board member Media Council. Kwa miaka mingi sana amefanya kazi Baraka FM na wenzenu, sivyo? Kustress mambo mawili tu kwamba kwa wanahabari hakikisha kwamba tunapoenda wakati wa uchaguzi andika ukweli, msije mkachochea watu, sivyo? Jambo la pili kwa vijana kwamba the Media Council tuna internship program na sio tutangaza kwamba people training in colleges. Nani anapeleka wapi? People training in colleges need attachments in media houses. We offer you attachment in any media house of your choice for 3 months and give you a facilitation transport allowance. The first cohort, we got 880 applications. Shortlisting will be done next week by a team drawn from all the media houses. Then people will vote from January 1 in any media house of choice. part of the assisting young people get graduation, and it's a set of courses from photography, graphic design, IT, journalism, broadcasting, and all that. So we urge people to apply. We have Mombasa Regional Office, it's at KDC. The regional coordinator is here, Madam Moody. So if you want to know how to apply for the next cohort, please visit the regional office so that you are able to be facilitated to get additional skills and facilitation to graduate. Asanteni sana. Board member ananikumbusha kwamba tuna social media pages zetu at Media Council Kenya, media, that is Twitter, Media Council of Kenya, and LinkedIn and Facebook. Asanteni.
Okay, thank you so much, Bwana Moyo. Now I want to call upon Polycarp, who is the regional presidential delivery unit in charge, the coordinator, PDU coordinator.
Good afternoon. Mine is just to wish you all the best. The country carries your destiny. We are headed to elections. When you post, ask yourself, is it just? Is it fair? Is it the truth? Because employers now are very keen. Visa issuers, call them the US Embassy, Canada, are very keen on what you post. So think twice. Before I employ you, I'll ask myself, is this the type of person I want on board? So I wish you all the best. And then remember, money follows innovative minds. You don't need to have money to start a business. Just have an innovation. Money will follow you. That's the reason Americans will give you green card or citizenship if you have a patent. So please, don't put money in front. It's about innovation. I wish you all the best. We believe in you, our youth.
Thank you so much. As I call in the regional commissioner to speak, just one word. Mombasa was made a city. Let us be proud of it and let us make it proud. Tukue kama vijana wa Nairobi pia. Tusikue watu wa kuonekana kwamba sisi watu wa pwani ni wazembe na wavivu. Naona tubadilishe hiyo taswira. We demystify that and we go out there and work and make Mombasa a real city that others can really come and benchmark. With those few remarks, I want to welcome the regional commissioner to speak to us. Welcome, sir.
Okay, thank you very much. I'm not new to most of you here. I would just want to say a few words of encouragement to the youth of Mombasa and the coast region in general. Like it has been mentioned, government is very aware of the need for youth engagement. The youth are the leaders of tomorrow. Of course, today I can see Madam Nyange here. Soon will be a member of parliament or governor in Taita Taveta. So that means that the awareness of youth leadership is there. So I really think that we need to engage as youth in what government is doing. We know that in the next 1 month or so, we will be embarking on the CBC program, the construction of 10,000 classrooms in the country. And the youth participation is key. Our youth who have construction companies will be required to participate in putting up these classrooms at the local level. And if a classroom goes for 780,000, there's a lot of money in the village for the youth to use, to get. Government also, as you know, has been doing a lot of development here in the coast region. We have many projects around our port. We call them the impact projects. In that project, there's a component for youth engineers. So there's a program for youth engineers to train and learn and gain skills. So if you're a youthful engineer here who has just left college, apply to Penha, apply to Kura, you'll give an opportunity to learn and be part of the transformation that we are having here in the coast region. We also know that Lamu is now a port. Those of you who are here, should be honing your skills towards serving that cause. Don't lament, be part of the solution that you are seeking for Lamu. We want engineers there, we want ICT officers there, we want everybody. But then of course, because of time, finally, you are the creatives. And I want to make a special appeal to creatives, you people who are sitting in this hub, creating content for our TV stations, for our mobile phones, for our computers. Create good content. Don't create hate. Don't create hateful messages. Don't embarrass our country. Don't put in porn. Create something that, you know, that is positive, something that is good for the country. I know you'll be approached by many people to create content for campaigns. You know, everybody wants a very catchy phrase, a very catchy picture, a very catchy, you know, something that can strike the eye and, you know, hold the attention of people. Don't allow yourselves to use the creativity for negative purposes, because the law catches up finally. But I would want to encourage you. I was in Kisauni the other day, and I thank those youth, because for the longest time we've not had any panga attacks there. Because the youth said, we've changed, we want to be part of the development of Mombasa County and the region in general, so give us opportunity. And government has brought in the Cousin Planning program. You've heard our youth officer mentioning that, you know, we are registering so that you can be recruited from that database. So get recruited. Register and get recruited. You will have money in your pockets. And in the end, you'll be a contractor. Those of you who are in the last phase of the Cousin Planning program and have acquired skills and have become fundis and, you know, contractors, apply for tenders at the Deputy County Commissioner's offices. You'll be given a tender to construct those classrooms. 10,000 of them in the country. In the coast region, we have 637 all over for CBC. So tujaribu sana to wasaidia. And of course, I want you to create some content that encourages our secondary school kids. You know, they have been burning schools every day. I think it's because wakiona Kinango imechomeka na kwao bado, wanaulizana kwa simu imekuwaje, mbona ninyi hamjafanya kitu? So I think we should be able to dissuade them using the power of media, using the power of content that you create here. I would want to thank Mahmoud Noor for his efforts. Can we give him a clap? We have been able to produce leaders here. We know that Nadia, our CIS, was here. Was here. Another name has been mentioned here. I think that one was here. So it means that we can be able to create leaders from here, from this hub. I also know that His Excellency the President has been able to help about 3 youth who are here. He gave them, I think, 50,000 shillings each. The other day, tukiwa na Nuru, walimsimamisha wakamuonyesha what they are doing, he stopped and gave them 50,000 shillings each. So the President is very keen on the youth agenda. So don't be part of that group that says government is doing nothing. Government is doing something. It's doing much, much more. And you can see this lady here, the SEC, we have about 16 of them in Mombasa. You will be seeing them more and more. They will be the DCCs in the next 2 or 3 years. And then, you know, they'll also be told to you as an example of what government can be able to do once you show the initiative. If you don't apply for jobs, you don't get them. So apply for jobs and you'll get them and you're there. Me and my team, we don't just look at security, we also look at development of the person and infrastructure. So when you have an opportunity to come and see us, please come, the door is open, we will help you. But especially at this time, when everybody is trying to develop a paradigm, you know, that nature, to convince the youth to support them, interrogate that very closely and do the right thing. Asanteni sana. On that, therefore, I would want to invite our very able government spokesman to speak to us and be able, of course, to set the message that we wanted to bring over to you. Makofi kwake.
Bwana Asi ambaye ni mwenyeji wetu mchana wa leo, na Mohamed ambaye pia ni mwenyeji wetu katika sehemu hii, viongozi wote ambao wako hapa, vijana, waandishi wa habari, ningependa kuanza kusema pole sana, kwa sababu najua umekaa hapa kwa kipindi kirefu, hasa waandishi wa habari walikuja hapa tangu saa 5 hadi sasa na pia inaelekea kwenye saa 8 hivi, ina maana kwamba umekaa kwa masaa matatu. Lakini tunasema jambo la muhimu sana ni subira na heshima. Iwe sio kwa waandishi wa habari peke yao, nadhani kwa umma na kwa jamii yote kwa ujumla. Mambo haya tunayosema hapa bila subira, bila heshima, yote hayatawezekana. Kwa hivyo nasema ni asante kwa waandishi wa habari, marafiki zangu, ndugu zangu wote, na nyinyi wote vijana ambao mko hapa, mnipigie makofi. Nikisikiliza maongezi yote ambayo yamekuwepo hapa, kila naona ni pesa inatembea. Yaani pesa inatembea kwa huzuni mno. Inaomba tu kupokelewa. Manake nikiona bwana yako hapa, yeye ni pesa. Tusikweli bwana yako. Ni pesa chungu mzima. Ina maana kwamba pesa inatembea, inaomba tu kuchukuliwa. Kuna uwezo fulani, kuna keo, kuna arpo, itaje tu ni bwana yako. Tatizo ni kwamba hatupokei ile hela. Manake nakuta inapofika mwisho wa mwaka wa serikali, hela nyingine inarudi. Kwa sababu kwenye kupokea hawapo. Katika kipindi chetu na bwana RC labda utadhibitisha, ni kwamba ilikuwa ni vigumu mno kupata hata mkopo kutoka kwa benki. Lakini siku hizi hata huendi benki inakuja nyumbani, wanakuomba jamani ndio uchukue hela. Lakini sio benki peke yake, hata na serikali inakuomba, bwana mdogo, dada mdogo, ndio uchukue hela. Mbona haichukuliwi jamani? Kwa hivyo hii leo ilikuwa ni kuongea na vijana, kuwafahamisha kwamba miradi hizi zipo za kuweza kusaidia vijana ili waweze kutafuta jinsi ya kutosheleza maisha yao na pamoja na familia zao na jamii kwa ujumla. Miradi mingi imetajwa, nitarudia. Kila ambacho ningependa kuongezea, serikali inagundua, inafahamu umuhimu wa vijana, kwa sababu wao ndio nguvu kazi ya kuweza kujenga uchumi wetu. Vijana, maana tukiongea kumwambia vijana, tunaongea 75% ya watu milioni 47. Idadi kubwa sana ni vijana. Tunafahamu pia vijana hao ili waweze kuchangia kwa uchumi wa taifa, lazima wapewe nafasi, lakini pia wapate taaluma za kuweza kufanya kazi. So mambo ambayo yametajwa hapa ni mambo mawili, kupeana taaluma lakini pia na nafasi ili kwamba vijana wachangie kwa ujenzi wa taifa na ujenzi wa uchumi pia. Manake yametajwa kwamba kuna kule kulalamika, ndio ipo, lakini ngomba kuelewa, unapotoka kwa mipaka hii nchi, uende hapa kusini kwa majirani zetu hapa, kaskazini jirani zetu, uende magharibi majirani zetu, hakuna nchi ambayo ina miradi nyingi za vijana kama nchi hii. Pamoja na wazee, hii nchi. Kwa hivyo swali ni, kuna sababu kweli ya kimsingi ya kuweza kusema kwamba serikali haijali? Hamna sababu ya kimsingi. Nasema hivi kwa sababu pamoja na kwamba kuna miradi hiyo ama miradi hii imetajwa hapa, lakini kuna miradi mingine mengi zaidi. Nitataja chache. Ukiangalia Dongo Kundu, wanaofanya kazi pale na kina nani? Ni vijana. Ukienda pale Liwatoni, waliofanya kazi pale kina nani? Vijana. Ukiwa hapa, wanaofanya kazi hapa ni kina nani? Vijana. Ukienda Lamu Port, wanaofanya kazi pale kina nani? Vijana. Ukienda barabara kutoka Malindi kuelekea Lungalungu, wanaofanya kazi pale kina nani? Vijana. Ukienda Nairobi Expressway, wanaofanya kazi na kina nani? Vijana. Ukienda Lamu Port, wanaofanya kazi na kina nani? Vijana. Yaani nafasi kibao. Kuna sababu kwenda kulalamika? Ila tunafahamu kwamba sote kwa kweli, hata tunapojenga kanisa lazima ujenge nini? Ujenge jela, kwa sababu sote hatutaokoka.
Ni kweli? Ina maana kwamba sote hatutafanya kazi kwa APA, tutafanya kazi kwa Ministry of National Treasury, tutafanya kazi kwa jeshi, hatutafanya kazi kwa polisi. Kwa sababu nchi inahitaji watu wote. Tunahitaji polisi, tunahitaji seremala, na hata mtu kuchoma mahindi tunahitaji, kwa sababu tunahitaji mahindi pia, si kweli? Kwa hivyo kazi ni kazi. Iwe ni kazi ya kuchoma mahindi, hiyo ndio ofisi yako. Iwe ni kule kuwa manambo matatu, ndio kazi yako. Maana pesa haina sura nyingine. Ama vipi jamani? Kwa sababu tusabie pesa kutoka kwa kuchoma mahindi? Hamna. Pesa ni pesa. Mradi hiyo kazi yako uiheshimu. Hiyo kazi yako uiheshimu. Na hiyo heshima itakupa kazi nyingine. Kuna vijana wa bodaboda tunasema nao kila siku. Maana tunawaona vijana wa bodaboda wanafanya kazi kuna kazi nyingine badala. Ina maana kwamba wengine wametolea mhanga. Ile kutolea mhanga kama terrorist Yaani wanaendesha bodaboda bila kujali maisha yao. Na tunaeleza kila siku, unapotoka nyumbani kwenda kutafuta mkate nje, usirudi kama maiti nyumbani. Ile heshima tunaongelea. Kazi yako iwe heshima. Kwa hivyo serikali imegundua umuhimu wa vijana. Kwa hivyo mambo haya yote tunaongelea, ndugu zangu, dada zangu, ni katika ile hali kupatia vijana nafasi, katika ile hali kupatia vijana kazi, lakini na wao lazima wafanye nini? Wajitokeze. Mara nyingi tunaongea kuhusu principle moja, kwa wale ambao labda watanikumbusha, inaitwa Pareto principle. Pareto principle inaongea kwamba unawekeza 20 unapata ngapi? 80. Pareto principle. Maisha yetu pia lazima iwe hivyo. Lakini vijana wengi, wala sio Mombasa peke yake, na Nairobi, kote wanawekeza 80 pia na 20 pia. Lakini wanawekeza 80 kwa sites ambazo haziwasaidii. Hata tunapoangalia sasa simu zetu za hizi smartphone, zile sites tumetembelea kwa wiki moja, utakuta labda Arsenal na Manchester United. Hizo ni nini? Tunasema nini? Ni entertainment, which is not a bad thing, but itakusaidia nani? Tunaomba hivi, ekeza 20 kwa Arsenal, ekeza 20 kwa nani? Manchester United. Ukipenda labda hata kwa Diamond, ekeza 20. Ama Alikiba, ekeza ngapi? 20. Ama bwana nani? Akodhe, ekeza ngapi? 20. Lakini 80 ekeza wapi? Kwa sites za kukusaidia wewe na kukujenga. Site kama gani? Bwana Moyo ameongea kuhusu site hapo. Wangapi wameandika hiyo kitu chini, site yake? Kwa sasa wangapi wameandika chini? Labda mmoja tu, ama labda hata hamna. Lakini sote tunajua site ya nani? Ya Vera Sidika, sio kweli? Sote hapa tunafahamu, lakini Moyo ametaja kitu cha kukujenga wewe. Lakini hakuna hata mmoja ameandika chini. Si neno, hajaondoka yuko hapa. Kile tunaomba ndugu zangu vijana wenzangu, ama mimi sio kijana hivi. Ndugu zangu vijana wote, ni kwamba mambo haya tunayosema hapa ni muhimu sana. Lakini msingi hapo wajenga. Kwa hivyo iwapo unanisikiliza, naomba tu kuanzia leo tuangazie Public Service Commission website. Hiyo ni ya serikali. Huyu dada ambaye ndio sura ya serikali kwa sasa, dada Lucy, yeye ni sura serikali kwa sababu aliingia kwa Public Commission website, akapata matangazo pale ya kazi, akatuma maombi, akaitwa, akafanya interview na sasa yuko hapa. Wala si moja, sio peke yake. Okay. Esha Mohamed pia yuko pale, ambaye ni sura vijana kwa serikali. Mmoja wenu ambaye sasa ni bosi yangu, Nadia Abdalla Mohamed, ametoka hapa. Kwa hivyo inawezekana. Na waandishi wa habari, marafiki zangu, wakati tunapojenga mazingira kwamba hatujiwezi, mada ya kwamba hatujiwezi, hata yule mtu ambaye anajiweza ataona kama fanya nini? Hajiwezi. Kwa hivyo tuangazie mambo kwamba inawezekana. Let's give hope to our young men and women. Let's give optimism to our young men and women. Kwa kwamba inawezekana. Ili tujenge sisi kama binafsi, kama familia na kama nchi yote kwa ujumla. Jambo la mwisho, maanake muda umeenda sana, ni kwamba Bwana Arisi ameongea kuhusu kipindi cha uchaguzi ambacho tunaelekea. Tuna mazoea yetu, tunafahamu sote. ni kwamba